Are you tired of missing drops and having to pay scalpers market prices just to get your hands on the newest Pokemon card releases? The Pokemon card market is crazy right now. It's almost impossible to buy cards at MSRP as everything sells out instantly. Worst of all, the Pokémon Center, the center of all things Pokemon, never has the one thing we all want, Pokemon cards. That being said, catching Pokemon Center drops and restocks is actually one of the best ways to buy cards at MSRP.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Well, thanks for asking, Timmy. For those of you wondering who I am and why you should listen to someone with only 10 YouTube subscribers, I'm a self-certified Pokemon addict that's been collecting and diligently researching Pokemon cards daily for the past several years. Unsurprisingly, I have a lot of experience with buying and failing to buy cards from the Pokemon Center website. And actually, as I was writing the script for this video, the Pokemon Center just dropped Victini illustration boxes that sold out within minutes, and I was able to successfully cop by using the tips I'll lay out in this video. At the end of the day, I'm making this video to help as many collectors as possible catch future Pokemon Center drops so we can all have the best chance possible at getting cards for MSRP. I just recently made this YouTube channel and will be sharing all of the tips and tricks I've learned about the hobby over the years, so subscribe to see more videos like this one coming soon. Stay tuned until the end of the video where I'll be answering FAQs so you're ready when the next drop goes live. Before you can successfully buy cards from the Pokemon Center website, you need to know how the process works. Early this year, the Pokemon Center implemented a queue system in an effort to prevent bots from buying all the products. While it sounds nice in theory, the queue system is a mess. It throws errors at real people rather than bots and ends up locking them out from buying anything, or kicks them to the back of the queue, which is extremely frustrating. If you're watching this video, chances are you've been blocked from the Pokemon Center website at some point, but by following the steps in this video, you'll minimize the chances of that happening. With that background info, the first step to never miss a Pokemon Center drop is to join Discord servers and follow Twitter pages. This is mandatory so that you know when the drops are happening. These pages have monitors set up that send out push notifications as soon as the queue goes live. If you don't follow these pages, you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. Many collectors wait until they receive an email from the Pokemon Center stating a new release is live, but by the time you receive that email and join the queue, the products will most likely be sold out by the time it's your turn to buy cards. There are many free Twitter pages and Discord groups you can join. For example, I follow Pokemon Deals and News on Twitter, and I joined Mom's Discord. Both of these pages have been extremely helpful in notifying me when the Pokemon Center queue goes live and a drop is about to happen. There are also paid Discord monitors that charge a monthly subscription. The monitors in these groups can be slightly faster than the free ones, and they often provide users with crucial information that can make the difference between catching a drop and missing it. I've personally used PokeNotify and ShinyTown. Both are very popular paid Discord groups that have channels set up where the admins post information that free groups don't often share. For example, before the queue even goes live, the Pokemon Center website first turns on security, which is their bot protection. Then the queue system goes live shortly after. Of course, subscribing to these paid monitors is optional, but from my experience, that extra information is worth the cost and can be the difference between catching a drop and missing it. There are so many options out there, so I'd recommend following as many free pages as you can and seeing which ones work best for you. Once you see the notification that the queue is live, the second step is to join as fast as you can. There is always a time frame between when the queue goes live and when the inventory for the product that is dropping is loaded. This time varies with every drop, so generally I'd recommend joining the queue as soon as possible on one device and joining a few minutes later on another. If you join too early, you may get past the queue before the inventory is loaded, which I'll give you some tips for in the FAQ section of this video. By joining with more than one device, you increase the chance of getting through the queue at the right time, when the inventory for the product is actually loaded and before the product sells out. This also gives you a backup device in case you get an error, which again I'll go into in more detail in the FAQ section. If you can join with multiple devices, I highly recommend using different networks on each of your devices. For example, use a computer connected to Wi-Fi and a phone connected to data to minimize the chance you'll receive an error. While you're in queue, don't refresh. Just wait and the system will let you in once it's your turn. Next, once you're past the queue and on the Pokemon Center website, you need to find the item that dropped. Depending on when you get past the queue, for some drops there might be a banner loaded on the home page with direct links to the products. But generally, the products will go out of stock before the Pokemon Center website can even load those banners. In these cases, the same Discord groups and Twitter pages that post when the queue goes live will post direct links for the products that drop. From my experience, I've had the most success with copying and pasting the links into a separate tab if you're on a computer, or a separate window if you're on mobile. You can also simply click on the link, but some users report this increases your chances of receiving an error. Lastly, sometimes you can search for the item in the search bar, but this doesn't work for every drop. Once you find the item, add it to your cart and pay attention to item limits. For most new products, the limit is 1. For others, the limit is 2 or more, so pay attention if you want more than one of the item. Sometimes the item loads as out of stock or unavailable, even when it's actually in stock. To get past this, you need to open the product page using any of the methods I mentioned above, click your cart, and click the back arrow. If the product is in stock, this will usually change the out of stock or unavailable button to the proper add to cart button. Lastly, checkout. You can either log into your Pokémon Center account or check out as a guest. Make sure your shipping info and billing address match and that your payment information is correct. If any of this information is wrong, you might get an error. Pay attention to any special promotions going on, as there are often codes you can enter by clicking on Enjoy Pokemon to get some free goodies. If you get the spinning Pokeball after clicking checkout, you might have received an error. Some report it's best to wait and hope the checkout goes through successfully, but from my experience this usually means one of the items in your cart is out of stock, and you'll get kicked back all the way to the back of the queue. Follow all these steps and you've set yourself up with the best chance at successfully checking out. But of course, a successful checkout is never guaranteed. Pay close attention to the next section where I'll answer some frequently asked questions that you may have yourself, or that you may have in the future. When do drops happen? Drops are random, generally late morning PST on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and never on weekends. What product is dropping? Generally, no one knows until the product goes live. Some paid Discord groups might have a little bit of info on it, and they may post that slightly before the product goes live. I'm on the Pokémon Center website and didn't join a queue, or I got past the queue but there's no new cards live. This means you either joined the queue too early before it actually went live, or you joined very quickly and were one of the first to get past the queue and the item isn't loaded yet. Click around slowly on the Pokémon Center website. If you click too fast, you'll get an error. If you click too slow, you'll get sent back to the end of the queue. I usually click a different page every minute or so. I received an error. What do I do? The two most common errors are error 15 and error 17. In short, the Pokémon Center security detected suspicious activity and thinks you're a bot. This can happen for a multitude of reasons, such as clicking too fast, clicking add to cart too fast, using a VPN, or even entering the wrong payment information or address. Sometimes you can fix these errors by resetting your IP address, by using a different web browser, or by disabling browser add-ons. If you're on mobile, you can turn on airplane mode for 20 seconds and then turn it off. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, being on different networks with different devices gives you a backup in case you get an error. I got kicked to the back of the queue. Should I give up? No. Many people get kicked out of the queue, start from the beginning, and are still able to cop. I don't want the product that dropped. Will there be anything else? Usually nobody knows, but the Pokémon Center has done staggered drops many times. This means they may release 1 or 2 products at first and drop more later, usually about 30 minutes to an hour later. If you don't want the first products that go live, you can utilize the trick I mentioned earlier and slowly click around on the website so you don't get kicked back to the queue. Can I place multiple orders for the same items? From my experience, you can only place 1 order total per drop per address. This means that if you bought the first item that dropped and another is released that same day, you won't be able to place a second order to get the newer drop if you're shipping that second order to the same address. If you want to place more than 1 order, from my experience you'll need to change all of the following: your shipping address, billing address, and payment info. The second order must be from a different session, meaning you'll need to rejoin the queue on the same device after your first order, or you'll need to get past the queue on a separate device. Does the web browser that I'm using matter? Yes. Many have reported that using certain browsers can lead to errors. I personally use Google Chrome and haven't had any issues. And that's all I have for this video. Hopefully by following these tips, you'll never miss a Pokémon Center drop ever again. If you have any additional questions that I didn't get to, or have any tips that you'd like to share, please let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see some of the tips I've learned over several years of collecting that have helped me grow my collection significantly without spending $1 from my personal income, click on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.